All right, guys, we are going to our third video in our X Team series to prepare for the 25-26 evaluations. Every year we get questions about, requirements for making teams and all that. So I decided to put out some requirement sheets and some videos to complement them for parents and athletes to have a really good understanding about what we're going to be looking for some of these X teams, which are the highest level teams in the gym. The X teams, for the most part, are going to be level 5 and 6, with the exception of the minis. I am going to do a video for mini X, and they are not level 5 and level 6. Parents, sorry, but they are going to be mini level 2. And because they're an X team, we decided to do kind of requirements for them as well, so people have an understanding on that. So this is the third video, and this is going to be talking about Junior X. These are the expectations with what we are looking for this team. We do want this team to be a Junior 6 all-girl team between the numbers of 17 and 22. If we can float 22, we would love to. We would love to be at 17. If we have to go lower than that, we will, but we do feel like we have the athletes that are capable of doing this to a team of 17. So same thing, Junior X is expected to be level 6, and we have some requirements that I'm going to go over. Again, we use the word mandatory or preferred. We are using the word preferred for the most part on this team. Again, knowing that there's a wide variety of ages and a wide variety of talents that we're going to need to put together a fantastic team. We use the word preferred because, again, we know that there might be some people that are really strong at tumbling that might not be as strong at stunting, and vice versa. Some people that really bring in the stunting and the muscle or the flying, whatever that's needed for this level, that might not actually be able to execute all the tumbling that's required. So I am going to go over these skills, but just note that we use the word preferred more in this as opposed to when I had done X Factor in our first video where it was mandatory. First and foremost, it's Junior X, so it's a junior team. You have to fit in the age category to be on this team. We always hate when kids age off of juniors because it's so sad, but this does have a top age and a bottom age. So you have to hit the age requirement to be obviously eligible for Junior X. The preferred tumbling skill is going to be the 2 to full. Now, we have a huge amount of skill levels within this team and this group. There's a lot of athletes that can perform. There's going to be athletes that can perform every single standing tumbling skill that is needed, but we want to kind of this year, to make a stronger team, spread the burden with as many kids as possible. So we would love, the athletes that are throwing standing fulls and 3 to doubles to not have to do the 2 to fulls too. So one of the skills that we're preferring all the athletes that make Junior X to have is going to be that 2 to full. So that way we know that we can put the 2 to full section in a section, and we don't have to burden the kids that have more elite tumbling with having to do those 2 to fulls as well. That helps make the whole rest of the routine stronger. So preferred skill is a 2 to full. The bonus standing skills is going to be a 1 to full, a standing full, and a standing to double. 3 to double or 2 to double. We also have kids that are going to probably perform 2 to whip doubles for evaluations, and we love that. I'm all for that. And again, the reason why we are preferring the 2 to full team-wide is so that way there are athletes that can perform those 2 to fulls, so some of the stronger athletes can perform more of the elite level tumbling. The preferred running skill, this is actually up a little bit from X Factor and Senior X. We are going to prefer a variation to full. Junior 6 has a little bit of a different rule set as opposed to World's level 6, as far as what they call variations. You can front walkover, obviously you can punch front, you can Arabian, you can whip. There's a lot of different ways that you can make a variation that counts as a level appropriate skill. So we are preferring athletes to show us a variation to full, not just a round of handspring full. Obviously, if all you have is a round of handspring full, you can show us that, but we're preferring a little bit of variation. And then the bonus running is obviously going to be the round of handspring double full, and then the variations into a double full. Again, we have a lot of those, and I'm excited to see what some of these kids come up with as far as what they're going to try out with it for evaluations. I have kids already that's like, what's a pass that I could do? And we're making up the craziest passes, and I love that. I think that's awesome. And I think that's bringing the bar up for a team like this. Stunting, okay? Now again, we're using the word preferred because we're well aware that there are going to be some really strong tumblers that might not be as strong at stunting. Stunting skills similar to both the other teams because, again, the stunting's a little bit different with Junior 6 as opposed to World 6. They're going to have to base, back, and fly in a high to high, a full up express up. They're going to have to be able to, if they're a flyer, double down from a body position. The easiest one to do would be like an arabesque, but they can arabesque double or they can heel stretch double, they can scale double, but we're going to want to see them doubling down from arabesques or a body position. Again, as I said in the other videos, there are going to be stunt clinics. There are going to be stunt open gyms. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for these kids that are flyers that want to get themselves ready for evaluations. And for the most part, I think a lot of the kids that are going to be trying to be evaluated for this team can already do that skill. But I will say a double down, if you don't have one and you're a flyer and you want to be considered for this team, get in the gym and start learning a double down. Or refining your double down. The next one is going to be an invert to an extended body position. And that really is bases and flyers that are going to need to be able to do that. There's a lot of different versions of that. One is the one that JX is doing right now in their routine. Another is one that X Factor is doing in their routine. And another is what Senior X is doing in their routine. Again, we will have lots of opportunities for these kids to be able to work on this or practice this or even learn this if they haven't learned it yet. But an invert to body is going to be important for JX as well. And the bonus skill, kick double basket. Typically for the flyers, they've got to be able to do that. I know there's a lot of athletes that have kicked single baskets or have been able to kick single out of stunts. And the next step is learning a double. Again, plenty of opportunities before evaluations to be able to learn that to kind of get your bonus up. And as we spoke about before, bottom of the score sheet, very important. Another thing that is very important is the maturity. What makes a junior team look real good is when they look old and they look competitively mature. And we can see that, jumps is first, but we can see that a lot in performance and dance. So I'm going to go over again why this is important. A junior team should look different from a youth team. A junior team should look different from a senior team, but it should look a little bit more on the senior side than the youth side. So what we are looking for jumps is a level toe touch, same as Senior X and same as X Factor. We want these athletes to be able to jump. Jumping has kind of gone on the back burner and we're suffering for it on some of the jump scores or some of the athletes that can't quite get those legs up. And again, if you're talented enough and strong enough to be able to do these tumbling skills and these stunt skills, a little extra focus on your jumps are going to make a big difference. So we are going to be looking at all athletes having a level toe touch, legs parallel to the floor. Bonus jumps is going to be a no drivers removed above level toe touch. All right. So that is a perfect above level point girl toe touch. All right. Toes are pointed, legs are straight, arms are perfect, landing's tight, synchronization is on. That is what a no drivers removed toe touch would look like. And then again, dance and performance must achieve an 8 or above on your dance and showmanship. As I spoke in the other videos, we will be teaching a dance at evaluations. The dance will be shown prior to on social media and through like our YouTube channels and stuff, so athletes can learn it prior to evaluations as well. All right, but we're going to be looking for athletes that can hit an 8 to 10 score on their dance, which means confidence, knowing the choreography, proper footwork, hitting motions nice and tight, being in sync, and showmanship. All right. Showmanship is confidence, projection, smiles, an it factor. The more of an it factor you have, the better. Again, a junior 6 team is a very competitive division, and these girls need to be performers and athletes that are confident on the floor. And if you come into evaluations and you are like, don't look at me as I do this dance, I'm not going to be able to believe that you're going to be able to take the floor at Summit and have to throw all these awesome skills and smile and sell it and try to win if you can't come to evaluations and give me a little show, all right, as a dancer and a performer. So we are expecting an 8 to 10 for that. Now, exceptions with Junior X, I kind of spoke about it a little bit with X Factor. There are going to be less exceptions because a lot of these skills are preferred, not mandatory. We are going to be looking that you have the whole package, all right? And if you don't have the whole package, what you can bring otherwise, okay? And that's either stunting, tumbling, and even sometimes performance, confidence, leadership. Junior teams, you can make or break it if that team has strong leadership, has strong older kids that can kind of help move that team in the right direction and keep that team in a positive mindset. So if you're a strong leader and you're an excellent stunter or you're an excellent tumbler and you might not be able to do the other thing, again, there's an opportunity for you to be able to possibly make this team if we see that we need that in that group. So that is the Junior X preferred or mandatory skills for the 2025-2026 season. And I wish everybody luck and get to work and get working on those skills, and we can't wait for evaluations.